What is up, everyone? This is OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to the PE Nintendo Switch news video. Today, we have the motherlode of all motherlode, the official specifications from Nintendo themselves. This is actually a website, nintendo.co.uk, where I'm getting all this information. And last time, I actually did a hardware overview with you guys, and I kind of just took random footage and I kind of put it together from what Nintendo has already put out. But I thought this time what I wanted to do was actually show you exactly what I'm talking about, show you exactly the source, so we can discuss all of the different specifications with the Nintendo Switch, and we can all be crystal clear and get the right information on everything. This just went up, I think, within the last 12 hours or so. I know it's somewhat recent, so let's go ahead and get right into it, guys. So as you can see here, the Nintendo Switch, it is a tablet. It is essentially a tablet console where that hosts all of the hardware. There are multiple points that we can go over here. Of course, the power button right there on the top, volume buttons right there at the top as well, 6.2-inch capacitive touchscreen, so it is multi-touch, 720p. You've got your speakers, that's 0.4, so speakers right here and here on the front. The game cards are cartridges, alright, and they put them right there at the top. Looks like you've got a nice vent, which they don't actually detail, but a vent there to keep your system cool. Right here at point number 6, we do have an audio jack for connecting commercially available headphones, microphones, or headsets. And notice how it said headphones, microphones, or headsets, guys. Number 7, game card slot. Obviously, you're going to put in the game cards right there. And number 8, you have the rail, so right there. And at number 9, you have the brightness sensor that you can also change right there as well. So moving on, we're going to go to the back here. And on the back, you can play it in what's called Tabletop Mode. You just go ahead and put this stand right out, and that can kick it up, and you can play it on the kitchen table or on the dining room table or on, we're in a plane, anywhere else that you want to play it in Tabletop Mode, at school, on the park bench, wherever you want to play it. You can just play it like that. The micro SD XC or micro SDHC slot is right underneath there. You will need a firmware update if you want to use micro SDXC. So it does need a firmware update, but if you are getting a card on day one, that probably means you're going to download something, so you're going to have to go online anyway. So it just fits in right there. As far as point 3 here, you have the rail. This is where you use the groove to attach your Joy-Cons. So your Joy-Cons go sliding in right there, and you can play with both of the Joy-Cons in portable mode. And then the USB-C connector base. So USB-C, very good USB type to use, very fast. So you can connect devices such as an AC adapter or Nintendo Switch dock right down there. Alright, there's technical specifications, but there's not much here. They just give you the size, the thickness of it, the approximate weight, 297 grams. This is super light. And then on the screen here, capacitive touchscreen, 6.2-inch LCD, 720p resolution. The GPU, CPU, look at these specifications Nintendo gave us. Look at these tech specs. NVIDIA customized Tegra processor. Nintendo's not saying anything. System memory, 32 gigabytes. A portion of that internal memory is reserved for the use of the system. You have a bunch of different communications features here, guys. So wireless LAN, IEFF 802.11a, BGNAC compliant. You have Bluetooth, let me repeat that, Bluetooth 4.1 in TV mode only. A wired LAN connection is possible through the use of commercially available wired LAN. So that Bluetooth, it is capable of that. So what can you use for that? Well, headsets can be used for Bluetooth. It's really interesting that Bluetooth is included, because what do you use for Bluetooth? Well, you compare a cell phone to Bluetooth. You compare headsets with a mic to Bluetooth to listen to sound. So there's lots of different things that you can do with Bluetooth, and a lot of supplementing evidence here to say certain things. That says certain things. I'm not going to get into that, but many of you guys probably know what I'm talking about. So the video output, obviously you can see here, maximum resolution, 920 by 1080p, 60 frames per second. Alright, so please note that the output via HDMI cable in TV mode, in tabletop mode, and handheld mode, the maximum resolution is 720p, which matches the screen resolution. Audio supports uncompressed audio like Wii U 5.1. Stereo speakers, terminal USB-C, headphone mic dot jack. So stereo output, but it says headphone mic dot jack. So I guess that can tell you a little bit right there. Game card slot, obviously it's exclusive to Nintendo Switch game cards, so no 3DS backwards compatibility. I did not add this into my last one. It's actually compatible with micro SD, micro SDHC, and micro SDXC memory cards. Now please note that an update via the internet connection is required for use of micro SDXC memory cards, but you have a lot of options here, guys. So between all of these options, there should be no complaining when it comes to price, because the prices for micro SD, micro SDHC, and micro SDXC, they all vary. There's different speeds, but they're all affordable for the most part if you want to get a good size as far as memory goes. And remember, with Nintendo Switch, you do not need to, like, when you buy a game, it does not take up the whole memory on your gigabytes of space, okay, like the PS4 and Xbox One. It does not take it up. It does not use it when you buy physical games like it's supposed to be. So that's just another thing, guys. Some of you guys, if you buy all physical, you won't even need a freaking gigabytes of SD card or anything unless you download a ton of indie games. And indie games are usually under a gigabyte. A lot of them are like 500 megabytes or just like 100 or 200. So it might be a while before you need something. I bought a 2 terabyte hard drive for my Wii U, and I'm nowhere near, not even near close. And really, my Wii U, it's used up on the gigabytes just because of review codes that I've gotten. So yeah, obviously we have accelerometer, gyroscope, brightness sensor, operating environment. One thing to know, if your battery gets damaged, you can only send it into Nintendo and they will replace it. You cannot replace your own battery like with the Wii U gamepad. It's not going to let you do that. You have to go through Nintendo customer support. The battery life can last for up to 6 hours depending on what titles you use, under what conditions, as far as the brightness and all that. But The Legend of Zelda, for example, will be roughly 3 hours on a single charge. The charging time will be approximately 3 hours. And note, the time taken to charge the console while it's in sleep mode, not while you're playing or anything like that. Alright, so that specification is done there. So I wanted to make sure that we go to the dock. So this is just a normal dock. You can obviously see it right here, USB ports, side accessories, just put it all right there as far as like the HDMI and all that, system connector, all that. Then if you go over to the back, you can actually see right here the AC adapter, USB, HDMI out, everything right there. And then you just close it right back up. The cords can come out, so you can leave it open or you can slam it shut. It's like normal dock that they have put in there. Although I do feel that in the future, Nintendo's going to do some more with this dock when it comes to the USB-C connection. And there is going to be an update for USB 3.0 support in a future update. So we're going to get that soon, or I don't even know if it's soon, but we are going to get that. So it's going to be USB 2.0 for right now, and then 3.0 in an update. System connector, all that's already there, so good stuff. Joy-Cons, a lot of stuff with the Joy-Cons, guys. So as you can see here, you have the L buttons. You have a full suite. You have a full suite of buttons here. The L minus left stick can be pressed down and used as a button, so it's clickable sticks on there. We have the capture button on the left one to where you can capture screenshots. Later, they're going to have an update to where you can actually capture video. And then you have the R button. You have the A, B, X, Y buttons on the other one, the right stick, and then you have the home button as well. And some people were worried about this, using it as like a D-pad for many games. So yeah, for many people, that might be an issue as far as using this for, you know, controlling certain games or anything like that. But I mean, for me, buy a Pro controller if it's really going to be a concern to you. I am going to test it out though once I get my hands on it, and to see if you're able to play that, you know, with this type of control. Like, is the D-pad good enough? I mean, because it's really not a D-pad, it's buttons. It's used to where it can be dubbed as a controller on the side by itself, and you can still have your full array of buttons on there. I think that's why they did that. And then on the other side, obviously, you have all that we discussed. If you look at the back here, same thing. Digital buttons all around. Some people were saying that some of them are triggers. It's like a little like trigger here. No, it's definitely a digital button. And on the side here, you can see the SR buttons right here, SL and SR. Both of these can be pressed, and in conjunction with the Joy-Con strap, you can actually have an extender on there, in addition to the sync button right here, which is 5. That syncs. So awesome. And then the player LED, which indicates what player number for each Joy-Con, which is actually really cool. It glows nice and green. That's awesome. That's awesome, by the way. I like these arrows too. That looks cool. And like I said, the Joy-Con straps, that actually extended to where it's probably a little bit more comfortable to hold, makes it a little bit bigger for people with bigger hands, and also extends those buttons right here. So if you're a little worried about it being maybe a little too cramped, you can always put one of these, which come included, by the way. 2 of them come included in the package. So awesome there. Then the locking strap, you know, pretty similar to what Nintendo had before. Just they actually added that extender on there, which is cool. Then you have the Joy-Con grip. It's super light, guys, approximately 97 grams. So it's pretty much, it's super light. This one doesn't charge, but at the same time, you can buy like a grip that will charge. But if you put your 2 Joy-Cons back on the dock, like let's say you dock it and you put it on there, it'll charge it itself. You don't have to buy one that charges. This one doesn't. That comes with the system. You don't have to buy one that does. All you have to do is just like dock it, you know, put the Joy-Cons and dock them when you're done. They last 20 hours, so there should be no problem unless you play more than 20 hours straight. You should always just dock them and they're good to go. Plus, you probably want to dock them anyway because you don't want to lose them. You don't want them around somewhere in the house, so you probably want to dock them up and put them on your Nintendo Switch console when you're done playing anyway. So that's pretty much that, guys. And then if you can see right here, it says change up the way that you play as far as the modes go. You have the home console mode, TV mode, tabletop mode, and then you also have the handheld mode and the home menu. You can check it out here. From the home menu you can start games and game settings, in addition to managing friends, user accounts, and also change your system settings here. So there was articles going up online on certain big, like, you know, Nintendo-based websites saying, hey, you can manage your friends and user accounts from the system. It's like, why? Like, of course you'd be able to do that. Nintendo never said that you wouldn't be able to, but people freak out about this whole phone app thing. So it's the fact that it's come to this point, guys. It's come to that, to where people actually thought that we weren't going to be able to manage friends and do everything from the freaking system itself. But anyway, you can do that right there. And I'm pretty sure that this will update as far as the look of the dashboard, but I know the reason why they're going this light with this is because they want the operating system to take up as little as possible. They want it to take up as little as possible so developers have as much space as they can freed up for RAM for games, and they want it to be light and fast. The biggest problem, or one of the biggest problems with the Wii U, was the OS was clunky. It took a long time to get into there. It took a long time to load apps, like getting to your settings. They want it to be lightning fast and quick when they actually add capturing, and they'll add features in there. That's the reason why I think they have a minimal type of screen here, but I do think that that's a good idea in order to free up as much resources as possible and make things fast. I don't want slow stuff. I don't want to jump into a war and all that stuff. I mean, that was cool for the Wii U or whatever, people who liked it, but this system needs to be quick, sleek, and get right into gaming because, once again, in my opinion, it's for adults who don't necessarily have as much time, and for me, I want something that gets right into the games. You see the latest news about Nintendo games, and we deliver straight to your Nintendo Switch. You have the eShop and you have the album where you can view your screenshots and edit them and all that, and then you can capture that. That will be available at launch, capturing by the Joy-Cons and all that, so good stuff. And then multiplayer, that's all going to be there available at launch. You can link multiple consoles together by connecting them and connect via the internet as well. Online play, there's amiibo functionality with the right Joy-Con. You can use the amiibo functionality from day one. They'll have that. So that is pretty much it, guys. That wraps up all of it. I think it was good to kind of go over this and see all the different specifications as far as what it has. I will have the link to all this information in the description below, so make sure you check it out for yourself so you can see and brush up on anything that you think I maybe missed, or maybe add in anything as far as your 2 cents goes. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, trailers, tips and tricks, and everything in gaming. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys for the next video. Peace.